WWE Off the Mic episode 10. The 10th episode already after just a few weeks doing it, which is really cool. And it's been really getting a lot better since the first one, really. So, I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me and subscribing to the channel, liking the video. It's been I'm really grateful for it, to be honest. And yeah, I just wanted to point that out before I get into the video, that it does mean a lot when you're leaving comments, subscribing, and just leaving a like on the video. It means that what I'm doing is some people at least are enjoying it, which is really cool. So but yeah, on to WWE Off the Mic episode 10. It's going to be there's quite a lot of news in this one. There's no news about, I'll just turn this guy, Kevin Owens. Got my new Kevin Owens t-shirt recently, which it's a long sleeved t-shirt. It's amazing. But yeah, there's no news on Kevin Owens, who's, I've pointed out, one of my favourite superstars in the WWE right now. Well, actually I have got some news on Kevin Owens, so but I'll get to that in a bit. There's quite a lot of news about NXT and Sami Zayn in particular, and quite a lot of Wrestlemania news. Obviously, with the time of year and it being close to Wrestlemania, it's a lot of the news was going to be about Wrestlemania anyway. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the location for Wrestlemania 33, which hasn't been confirmed by WWE yet, but it's said to be confirmed in the next few days, that it's going to be in Orlando. So WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, that would be amazing. There has been some talk recently that one day WWE might hold a WrestleMania in the UK, which, if that was to happen, that would be just insane. For me anyway, to go to, I'd definitely be going to that. I mean, I've got plans to go to a WrestleMania in the US, so if it was in the UK, that's a lot closer, so that's even better. So, but yeah, WrestleMania 33 is going to be in Orlando. It pretty much appears now, so that would be pretty cool. The next thing was actually, I'll talk about the Kevin Owens news now, because it's something I really want to get off my chest. It's basically how they had the Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania last year, where they had that ladder match between quite a few guys. I can't remember, was it like a six-man ladder match or something for the IC title? 6 or 7 man or something. Anyway, it's obviously with Kevin Owens champion, who in my opinion is just amazing as the IC champion. I would, for me anyway, I want him to be in a match with AJ Styles, or a match with AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. But it looks like they're going to have a repeat of last year, another 6-man IC ladder match, IC title ladder match. Which, will it be a good match? Yes, because there'll be ladders everywhere. There'll be some high flying moves. It'll be great. It'll be there'll be a lot of high spots in the match. But what WWE has done over the past few years, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree with, is they find one thing that they really like, and then they just overuse it, and overuse it to the point where nothing's unique about that match. And that type of ladder match at WrestleMania, it was, they had tag team matches, back in the day that were ladder matches, but they've never done it on a consistent basis. And the match that Daniel Bryan won for the IC title was amazing, that ladder match. But I just think, they don't need to keep doing the same thing, and I would much rather have had Kevin Owens defend it in a one-on-one or a triple threat match against AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. I just think that would have been an amazing match. Plus, as well, I would love AJ Styles to win a title because he's one of my favorite wrestlers. I'd love AJ Styles to win a WWE title of some sort, but because you could include Chris Jericho, you could keep Kevin Owens as champion, but have, if it was a one-on-one between Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, if you had AJ Styles get beat, or basically people would be a bit like, it's his first WrestleMania match, his first title match, and you're having him lose type thing. But then you could literally have Kevin Owens win the match by pinning Chris Jericho, or making it seem that AJ Styles, just wasn't able to win it, but it didn't make him look weak or anything like that. That's what I would have loved them to do in a triple threat scenario. Keep the belt on Kevin Owens for now, but keep AJ Styles from looking weak, and so in the future you can go back to that match and potentially have AJ Styles win the title, at a future pay-per-view. But seems like they're going with this ladder match, which, when you see it for the first time, or it's great, but I just don't agree with WWE doing, repeating the same type of matches. So that's, to be honest, it looks like they're going to do that for the IC title and not the US title. I would much rather it be done for the US title, because you've got Kalisto as champion, who's a high flyer, and I think it was TLC. Obviously, the tag team match between the New Day Usos and Lucha Dragons. That was probably the best part of the whole show, apart from when Roman Reigns destroyed Triple H at the end. That tag team match where Kalisto, was just hitting moves, and when he broke the ladder with, I can't remember which Uso it was. That was just some insane moments. So why not repeat that? That's something that you can definitely repeat, because it's a bigger stage, WrestleMania. It's a singles match. It's a 6-man US title match. It's different than the tag team match, and it's at a bigger stage, so it's not quite the same. And you've got Kalisto, who's a ready high flyer, and ladders are just made for him to be doing moves off. You could put Neville in the match. You could even put Sin Cara in the match. You could put so many of these high flyers in that match. Dolph Ziggler, something like that. But instead they're going to do it with Kevin Owens' IC title, I think. So that's pretty. I would have preferred it to be the other way around for Kalisto's US title. I think that would have been better. Another thing on WrestleMania is they're likely going to go in the direction of the New Day defending the tag team titles, which will probably be a 6-man tag, because they'll include obviously Big E, Kofi, and Xavier Woods versus the League of Nations. So obviously it won't be Wade Barrett. It'll probably be the other 3. Which, I think you guys know what I'm going to say about this. I'm not impressed by that. The right thing to do was bring Enzo and Big Cass up from NXT. It's simple as that. At WrestleMania, have Enzo and Big Cass go over on the New Day. Both teams coming out at WrestleMania on the mic in front of that crowd. That could be one of the best. That would have been one of the best moments of WrestleMania. I guarantee it. The New Day versus Enzo and Big Cass. That would have brought the house down as a tag team match, and that would have been one of the best tag team matches at WrestleMania in years, guaranteed. So the fact that they're going with the League of Shits is really disappointing, because I don't know if WWE have just not clocked on, and just, I think they're very blinded by stuff that if it's stuff they want to see happen and it's not happening, they're just blinded by it, and they don't take it as a no, basically. And they just, it seems they keep thinking that the League of Nations are doing something interesting, which everyone in every arena they go to and everyone watching at home knows they're boring and just doesn't care. But WWE just keeps putting them on TV, and now they're gonna have a tag team match at WrestleMania for the belts. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So that's, that going from the New Day versus Enzo and Big Cass, which would have been one of my favourite matches on the card. New Day versus League of Nations will probably be one of my least favourite matches on the whole card now. So it's weird how they could have had a match this high, and just with one tag team replacing another, it all the way down there. So it looks likely they're going to go in that direction, which makes on Raw AJ Styles and Chris Jericho's tag team match with the New Day, all the more likely that AJ Styles and Y2J won't win. I mean, I didn't think they would anyway, but obviously with this, a lot of rumours about this match being made, there's even less chance of it happening now. So, oh, and another thing I wanted to mention was on March the 12th, they've got Triple H defending the WWE World Heavyweight title against Dean Ambrose on, what's the show called? WWE Roadblock, I think, on the network. So yeah, that's on the WWE network, WWE Roadblock. So it'll be pretty cool. I'll watch it. But well, not even rarely, never do titles change hands at an event like that. That's not a pay-per-view. It's just like a show to put on for fans or whatever. Titles never change hands, and even if Dean Ambrose had a match on Raw for the belt, where it would be much more likely of him winning the belt off Triple H, WWE's not going to take that chance and put Dean Ambrose as champion and go away from Triple H Roman Reigns. It's just not going to happen. Would I love it to happen? Yes. Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns is the match I wanted at WrestleMania, but it's just not going to happen. So we'll have to, obviously Triple H will retain the title against Dean Ambrose. The interesting thing about it though is they were going to have, originally the plans were for a triple threat. It was going to be Triple H versus Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar, but obviously with Brock Lesnar not being on this week's past Monday Night Raw, they couldn't really build it up with Brock Lesnar being in the match. So Brock Lesnar is really interestingly going to face off at WWE Roadblock against Bray Wyatt, which obviously was going to be the WrestleMania match. So Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt, that's going to be really cool. I'm going to be really interested to see that. More interested to see that than Dean Ambrose Triple H, because I can't stand Triple H and I know the result. It's predictable. So Brock Lesnar, obviously I think Brock Lesnar is going to beat Bray Wyatt, but because it was going to be the WrestleMania match, it's going to be good to see it anyway, even though it's not going to happen. And I am like legitimately worried at WWE's plans for the Wyatt family at WrestleMania, because I just think they've basically put Bray Wyatt in a situation to a no-win situation at WrestleMania. He'll either be involved in a really poor match and he'll get the win, or he'll be involved in a really poor match and lose. That's just how they've booked him and the Wyatt family. So, I mean, the worst thing that could happen now is Bray Wyatt potentially win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, which, like, Bray Wyatt shouldn't be in there. He should be in a title match or a bit, one of the big, like, 3-4 main events they have at a WrestleMania. So, but obviously that's not going to happen now. But yeah, that's my latest news on that. And and one more thing, I watched NXT yesterday, and Austin Aries debuted, which was just amazing. So cool to see. And as he was going to the ring, Baron Corbin attacked him, and that's set up a feud right there. Baron Corbin versus Austin Aries, because Baron Corbin is my favourite NXT superstar right now. So him against Austin Aries is going to be insane. So that's going to be great. One other thing I wanted to mention was about Sami Zayn being at WrestleMania, which I think there's a big chance of it. And obviously with what I mentioned earlier with the IC title and Kevin Owens, I think I think they're going to have a surprise maybe entrant in that match, and it being Sami Zayn. So there's a little paragraph I just wanted to read quickly. The source is the Wrestling Observer newsletter, which is like probably the best. So it says WWE NXT superstar Sami Zayn is scheduled to wrestle at WrestleMania 32, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. This indicates Sami should be appearing on WWE Raw and SmackDown soon, unless they hold him off until after WrestleMania. Sami is also booked for the annual post-WrestleMania tour of Europe. So I don't mind either way. I just think it would be such an amazing... I don't mind either way if he debuts at WrestleMania or the Raw after. And I also don't mind if he debuts on Raw before WrestleMania, if he's going to compete at WrestleMania. Or, which would be my option, is you have Kevin Owens come out at WrestleMania to defend the IC title in a 6-man ladder match. You have the 4 other guys come out, and the 6th guy, boom, it's just Sami Zayn. Don't bring him on Raw, don't bring him on SmackDown to hype him up in that match. Just bring him out at WrestleMania. The crowd will go, they'll go insane. That would just be amazing, and that would make that match a lot better, because obviously Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the feud they've had in the past was amazing, and just that would be so cool. So hopefully that'll happen if they go with that match. I'd love to see Sami Zayn put in it, because otherwise it's just going to be people like, or there's rumours that they'll potentially put like Dolph Ziggler and The Miz in it. I mean, WWE just cannot get away from Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler in some capacity, whether it's one-on-one, 6-man ladder match. They'll be the 2 going at it with each other. You know, it's just so, yeah. But putting Sami Zayn in that match would just bring a whole new level of intrigue right there from the crowd. Because obviously they'll be pumped because Kevin Owens is in the match. And I think whether it's a one-on-one with AJ Styles or Chris Jericho, or a triple threat with Chris Jericho, or a 6-man ladder match for the IC title, whatever match they go with, I think walking out of WrestleMania as the Intercontinental Champion will be Kevin Owens. I think he'll retain in whatever match they do, but putting Sami Zayn in it will literally bring some real unpredictability to it. So yeah, that's my WWE Off the Mic episode 10, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you could leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel, it would be amazing, guys. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you soon. Bye.